So let me tell you what a rowdy church is. And this is not new vision, but it is fresh language to describe who we've always been and will continue to be on the screen behind me. We are a rowdy church of imperfect people who can't keep quiet about Jesus. We're not a Christian country club. We're a party for prodigals, rolling out the red carpet for those who are far from God. We're not a courtroom for the convicted. We're a hospital for the broken. And we take God seriously, but not ourselves. We're called to build the church, and we're gonna enjoy the ride as we go because we believe Jesus is the answer, and the church is the greatest evangelistic tool on the planet. So we are turning up the volume to make heaven more crowded. And today I want to preach a message called the 5 senses of a rowdy church. And I want to use our 5 senses to sort of describe the spirit and the culture of the early church in the book of Acts. It gets me thinking about the concept of a rowdy church because there is going to church and then there is becoming the church. And seeing that line between those two kind of start to grow faint. And once again, I'm not talking a volume thing as much as I'm talking a spirit thing. And so I want to use all 5 of our senses to do my best to describe a rowdy church to you because here's what I know. I know that language creates culture. And when we walk and talk with the kingdom of heaven in mind, we create a kingdom culture on earth. And we are building the church, the most important thing that there is. And so it matters what we say about it. That's why we say, no, we're not a Christian country club. We're rolling out the red carpet for those far from God. We're a party for prodigals. We're not a courtroom for the convicted. We are a hospital for the broken. And this doesn't have to be every church, but it is our church. Like we turn up the volume for worship. And we know, man, there's weeks, there's every week, there's tears to cry and there's mourning with each other, but we always want to have this sort of spirit of celebration, and there's reasons for all of that. Like we do sports leagues at Red Rocks, and we make ridiculous humor videos, and there's like it's all on purpose because guards come down for people who would normally be nervous in church, who show up and they watch a video or they hear about sports leagues and all of a sudden their ears are opened and they hear the gospel and their lives are changed, and it happens every single week. The Acts church was imperfect and ordinary people, but look what it says about them next. They also recognized them as men who had been with Jesus. So here we go. A rowdy church looks like people who know God. I'm not important. I am just a man who knows God. I'm a man who knows Jesus. You know, it's pretty common for people to know God the same way that we know our favorite artists or athletes, where we know things about him and we can quote some facts and some stats, but we don't necessarily actually know him. Well, a rowdy church looks like people who know God. Who know God, not just about him, but know him. A people, not a place. Not a place. You understand, this room that we're sitting in, this is not Red Rocks Church Austin location. This is, like the people in this room, we are the Austin location. We are the church. Littleton, Colorado, the building you're sitting in right now, 9136 West Bowles Avenue, Littleton 80123. That building that's not the Littleton campus. You, the souls, the people inside of it, you are the church. And that's great news. And the reason that's true is because the presence of God doesn't just have to dwell in rooms anymore, because the veil has been torn. Because Jesus handled the sin problem on the cross. That means God can now exist within people. And I promise you, he did not go to the greatest lengths imaginable to be with you so that you could know some facts about him. God's love is not an ocean for you to jump in and experience so that you could stand on the shore and observe. This is not just theoretical or theological. This is experiential. This is relational. And I want to slow down and say this just so clearly in case you've never heard this. The God of the universe wants a passionate and intimate and adventurous and gritty day by day and lifelong relationship with you. Now, the reason a mature church is also an immature church is because maturity, the height of maturity, I believe, in the church is reaching the lost. Look at Jude 1:23. Rescue others by snatching them from the flames of judgment. Our church ought to smell like smoke if we're snatching people from the fires of hell, from the grasp of the devil. Like, we ought to smell like smoke if we've been to hell and back reaching lost people. Anytime like there's word on the street that, man, people who go to Red Rocks are living messy lives outside of these four walls, hey, I get it. Listen, first things first, every church will always have those who are just kind of playing the Christian game, all right? And not really an interest in knowing God more and living on purpose, and like kind of just like refusing to grow up in a spiritual sense. Like, that will always be the case at every church. But also, that smell of smoke is because we are reaching people who are standing on the edge of the fires of hell. And we should smell smoky. Like, how precious must the human soul be if both God and the devil want it that bad? The most mature thing a church can do is reach the lost. Therefore, the most mature church should be full of a lot of immature believers who are just brand new to this whole faith thing. Because we all know, guys, better than anybody, you don't clean yourself up and then come to Jesus. You just simply come to Jesus and he begins to take care of the rest. That's why a rowdy church should smell smoky. That's why invite your rowdy friends. They will fit right in here. They'll be right at home in this church. Why? Because we're not a courtroom for the convicted. We are a hospital for the broken, nor is this a country club for Christians. This is a party for those who are far from God. We are rolling out the red carpet for prodigals to come and experience what this God really, really believes about you. And we will always be the church that reaches those who are lost, prodigals who maybe have tried religion but never actually have met Jesus yet. That's why we're building a front porch in the middle of cities full of so many people who are lost, just like every single one of us used to be. Amen?